The meeting started with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. We'll get started with a roll call, if you don't mind. Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
Andy Belly. Falco.
Here.
Attorney solicitor for the record also.
Right. All right. We do have one application to address from our previous month's meeting for application Z 2025-22 for 0 Chestnut Street. We do have a decision to make on that application. Does anyone from the board wish to make a motion on this application?
If I can make a motion I make a motion to approve application Z 2025-22 with several conditions. Solicitor, would you mind reading off the conditions?
Yes, conditions for approval. The zoning hearing board's approval. This application is subject to the following conditions and safeguards. Number one, the installation and construction shall be in accordance with the application, the applicant's testimony, and the exhibits presented at the time of the hearing. Two, the applicant shall be granted permission to build a single-family residence with a minimum of 9 feet on each side of the proposed structure. Three, the applicant has agreed as a condition of approval that the lot width of the property at 208 Chestnut Street and the lot on the opposite side have been merged into one lot. The applicant shall take appropriate measures to legally merge these two remaining lots together. Four, the applicant shall comply with the Newtown Township stormwater management ordinances as applicable and regulations pertaining to the development of the property. Five, the applicant shall comply with all relevant federal, state, and township laws, rules, regulations, and ordinances. Six, the applicant shall apply for and obtain all applicable governmental permits, approvals, and pay all fees as required. Seven, the installation, construction, and plans shall be subject to the direction and approval of the Newtown Township building official in accordance with the various ordinances of the township. Eight, that the relief granted shall expire and become void unless applicant applies for a building permit within 6 months of the zoning hearing board order of approval, unless extended as provided by the Newtown Township zoning code, section 172-16, expiration of special exceptions or variances and extensions. Those are the conditions as read. Just to be clear, with respect to the 2 remaining lots, if the board voted for approval, the approval of tonight of the application would not legally consolidate or merge those 2 lots. It's simply make the consolidation as a condition of approval, and the applicant would have to go through and take whatever legal steps are necessary to effectuate that consolidation under the applicable codes and regulations.
That makes sense on the third condition, the legal steps to formally merge the lots, preventing a future build on the lot to the right. All right, perfect.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Good luck. Thank you. Yep. All right, next up is application Z 2025-28, Lawrence L. Robinson of 3538 Rhodes Avenue, pertaining to subject property at 218 4th Avenue. The applicant is seeking variance relief from section 172-34B1 to allow construction of a single-family dwelling on an 11,134 square foot non-conforming lot. The applicant also requests special exception relief from sections 172-141F for the construction of a new single-family dwelling on non-conforming lot. There is no proposed encroachments into the front, side, or rear yard setbacks. The applicant also requests relief from many other sections of the zoning ordinance that may be realized during the zoning hearing process. Subject premise is located in the R3 zoning district. Who do we have here on behalf of this application? You can actually just have a seat here and make yourself comfortable. Just make sure the microphone is on and lit up in green. Before we get started, is the file in order for this application?
File is in Township staff, as you can see on the screen above, physically posted the property with notice advertising tonight's hearing. We also prepared mailings and delivered that notice to all properties within 200 feet of the property boundary, as well as advertising in the Gulfport Times on 2 separate occasions.
Mr. Chairman, based on the representations of the code officer, I'd ask the application submitted by the applicant be marked as Township Exhibit number T1. The list of residents within 200 feet of the subject property who were notified of tonight's hearing be marked as Township Exhibit T2. Proofs of publication from the advertisement in the Daily Times, 2 consecutive weeks be marked as Township Exhibit number T3. And the picture depicting the posting of the property, notifying everyone of tonight's hearing, be marked as Township Exhibit T4.
Thank you. They are admitted. Do we have anyone here wishing to make public comment on behalf of this application or would like to go on the record as a party protestant? All right. As a public comment or a party protestant? We haven't even gotten anything yet. I'm just asking if there's anybody who wishes to be a party protestant or wishes to make public comment. Did you receive a letter in the mail? Do you live? So we're just trying to get names on the record if you wish to appeal any decisions that are made here tonight. You want to just get your,
Yeah.
I would say just get your name on there now so you have the option. That's the best.
Being a
move.
party protestant does not mean you protest it. It is just you declare you may want to in the future.
Just make sure the microphone is green and just give us your name and address.
Diane Riccio, 209 4th Avenue, Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, 19073. And
All right, thank you.
RICCIO. Oh,
All right,
I do. With your permission, I have some exhibits if I could.
sure.
It is. Thank you. Dennis O'Neill with Herbert McCumbie's office, a professional engineer in the Commonwealth. I would like to first ask your approval of my CV, which I've outlined the education from Widener University. I'm a PE licensed in 2005 in the Commonwealth. And I have testified numerous times in Delaware County municipalities, including the zoning hearing board for Newtown Township.
All right. You're admitted as.
Thank you. Our exhibit A2 is a copy of the deed to show standing for tonight's hearing. The applicant, Lawrence Robinson, owns property at 218 4th Avenue, which is between Berman Street and Gilbert Street. Site's located on the northwesterly side of the road. It has residential properties on both sides. And there are athletic fields to the rear of the site that are owned by Marple Newtown School District. The site is in the R3 residential zoning district. It contains an existing single-family dwelling, so a couple of small driveways. The existing site is non-conforming with regard to lot area and also front yard setback of the existing dwelling. The applicant, Mr. Robinson, is proposing to demolish the existing house and build a new house on the lot, which will, when completed, conform with all requirements of area and bulk, with the exception of the 12,000 square foot minimum lot. The existing site area is 11,134 square feet. It's about 866 square feet or 7.2% short of the required 12,000 square feet. There is a 100-foot lot frontage. It's a long lot. It's just a little short in depth. The based on a review of the tax maps and block plans from the Delaware County Public Property Access Office, we have determined that there are 41 tax parcels that border Fourth Avenue. Of these 41, 28 do not meet the minimum lot area. It's about 68%. It's a common issue in this particular area. The Exhibit A3 is a copy of the existing site plan, which shows the existing house in a brown tan color, tucked into the front right corner of the site. As you can see, it does not fit in the setbacks. It does, however, meet the impervious coverages that are required in the district. Exhibit A4 is the proposed footprint of the house. The proposed footprint of the house will be 1,683 square feet. There'll be a total impervious coverage of 2,655 square feet. There is sufficient room on the site to provide subsurface infiltration and stormwater management to control stormwater runoff for all of the new impervious that is proposed, so that we can meet the Newtown Township Stormwater Management Ordinance, Chapter 143. Exhibit A5 is photograph picture representation of the house that's proposed. This same house was built next door at 214 4th Avenue. The only difference is because this lot is wider, we'll be able to get a 2-car garage across the width of the lot and still be within the setbacks. Whereas this house only had a 1-car garage because the lot was somewhat narrower in size. Exhibit A6 are some current photographs of the site. A6A has 2 photographs, one from the left and one from the right of the existing house. And you can see there's a stone driveway in front of the house on the picture at the bottom of the page where they park. We will formalize a new driveway into the house. And picture at the bottom of Exhibit A6B shows the existing house and the new house on 214 and the distance between it. Because of the way we're going to position the house back into the setbacks, there will be more room between the 2 houses than there are now. We have asked for a special exception to allow for this to be built. The special exception requirements for this, in accordance with your zoning code, allows that if a structure on a non-conforming lot is to be expanded on the non-conforming lot, and where the expansion will not encroach further into the front side or rear yard setbacks, then the zoning hearing board may review this as a special exception. We believe that even though the existing house is coming down, it's still an expansion of the single family use that is on the site now, and that the area setback is rather de minimis given some of the other lot sizes in the area. In the alternative, we have on our application included a variance to the 12,000 square foot lot area, although the standards for the variance, as you know, are somewhat different. We have reviewed the standards for special exception in 172.13C and D, and because In my opinion, this lot has a single-family home on it now. A new single-family home will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood, and it will not cause any damage to the health, safety, and welfare of the surrounding properties. Again, it's a single-family home on a lot with a single-family home in a single-family home neighborhood. If it's determined that the special exception cannot be authorized and a variance is required, we would offer that the lot itself was created in 1924 at its current size. It's transferred, I believe, about 9 times. There are no other available properties to get the 12,000 square feet that we need around it. And it's the minimum amount of relief that we would need is just that 866 square feet of lot area. And I can answer any questions about the site that you have. I can also provide a copy of the
Did we,
participant would like to see it.
did we show the actual picture of the house on the screen? Is that? Only because I know, Mrs. Riccio, you were asking to see what the house is gonna look like, correct? I think it's A5.
Yeah, I don't think it was part of
It's
the,
not.
right.
Mrs. Riccio, I know if you want to come up and. There you go, sure.
So, one area of clarification I also want to make, is I do think the variance is necessary only for the rear patio, that exceeds your setback of 25 feet. And we only allow a 3.5-foot encroachment into a required limit for a patio or a deck. So that would require a variance of 734 feet down.
How far out's the patio going?
Patio is out about 12 feet. And there's probably foot inside the setback, so I would say 11 feet.
It seems like our biggest, aside from that concern, is basically just the lot size overall. We're
Correct.
not looking for any other relief. The variance, obviously, for the patio.
That is correct,
All
yes.
right, Mrs. Riccio, do you have any questions? If you don't mind, I'm opening up for you because I know you had some concerns. Just come up to the microphone so we can. We need to make sure for the recording. Oh, yeah, or you can sit at the table if you want, whichever you're more comfortable. You want to sit at this table here?
But I'm just trying to make sure that I'm reading this right. The new home will be now where the old home is there, it's gonna get torn down.
Mm.
That's closer to the road. But this new home is gonna be level with the other new build?
Correct.
Okay. I just finally found the picture. I got confused with the different colors. And it's going to be the same house,
The same house.
except for
it'll have a
two-car garage.
garage.
That's fine. But it's not gonna be any higher,
Would be no higher.
okay? And what was it? We have a hard time hearing back here.
Sorry, what's
Something
your-
about the patio?
So the patio goes out further than what the rear yard setback allows, so it's just that they're putting a patio in that's going to encroach into that 25. I think it's 25.
Yeah, because the house next door that he just built doesn't have a back patio.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big ask though. I mean, it's just that they're going out with the patio and just needs to get a variance for that, so.
So. But how far away from the fence, the high school fence, would the patio be?
So the
13 feet.
patio, yes,
And-
well, the patio is 12 feet, it's a 25-foot yard, so it'll be 13 feet from the fence.
And what is the zoning rule on that? How far?
Which 25 is what he
Okay,
needs
so
for his
so
rear yard
he should be,
setback.
so no, his bottom line, he should be 25. And he's asking to put a patio in, taking up half of that 25. Just
Correct.
so I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so far I'm following.
You have, I mean, I don't know that he has much else to really present.
Well, I
I
have.
think so if you have questions, get them out there now.
The only thing I'm concerned about is the patio,
Well, the
Because-
patio, what's your concerns?
because it's not required 25 feet. And next door's house that he just built, they
Yeah,
don't have a back patio, but I'm sure if he gets a back patio there, they're gonna want
well, I
one.
get being concerned. It's not like he's putting a deck on that's building out that way. I mean, a slab of concrete that he's putting into the ground.
That's the difference? It's only a slab of
It's
concrete?
only a slab of
Yeah, just, I
concrete,
mean, it's a
correct.
legitimate patio. It's a concrete in the ground,
okay.
but
Well, like I say, people call patios and things different things.
we are calling it a patio. It's a patio.
If I may, there is other considerations. That lot is smaller than this lot and there's stormwater management in the back. So the back of that house has some confinements that if there were to be a patio, it would probably be very narrow and
Yeah.
to avoid those things.
Well, that's
So
the thing, that's what I'm saying.
And we
I
would
know
have
the
to come-
property Goes weirdly different. I'm just trying
They
to,
would, if they went to do that, they would have to come in here as well. So,
okay, just wanted to make sure.
all right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It looks like there's a shed on the original home. Is that gonna, in the
That's-
back?
that's
gonna
coming
go
out.
away?
I would finally just ask if the exhibits could be put into the record.
They are admitted. I think most of what you gave us was already in our packet minus. This was in.
Yeah, we colorized the plan so that you could see the house a little easier.
Yeah, the township only gives us black and white, so.
On the house, the new house that's there. On the paperwork that was sent to us. It was the original house is called, the new house is called a 1.5 car garage, correct?
Our garage.
It's called, but the paperwork that I have at home, it's advertised, the new house was 1.5 car garage. So this 2-car garage is really only gonna be just a little wider, right? Since the other one was 1.5,
Correct.
Correct.
so it's not gonna be 2.5 car
The
garage.
home that we built on 214 was larger than a 1-car garage. It was a 1.5.
Yes,
This will be a 2.
okay, I just wanna make sure it
The
wasn't gonna be
only
2.5.
difference, it's the
Okay,
same exact tone, except
Well-
for a little wider garage. And it'll have one door, not 2 separate doors, but you'll be able to park 2 cars in the garage.
yeah, oh, I don't care, I just was asking because I didn't want it, 2.5. I never heard of a 1.5 car garage, that was my whole thing. And when I got that advertisement, I just wanted to make sure this wasn't gonna be a 2.5
It
car.
just gives them a little more space for storage.
Yeah. I get it, thank you.
But it's a single door still, just a wider single
It'll be a
door.
Single 16, or single has it. That's like,
That's right, that's what you do.
that's like that.
Andy, any concerns, Andy, on any?
I have no.
Tone, any questions, concerns?
that's fine,
Stormwater management's all good?
Yeah.
All
absolutely.
right.
I would make a motion. The motion is to grant the special exception requested in accordance with section 172-141F. This is in regard to
Single family.
no, I'm looking for the number. For application 2025-28. For the construction of the new expanded single-family dwelling on the non-conforming lot. Since there are no proposed encroachments into the front side or rear yard setbacks. Additionally, to grant a variance from the 12,000 square foot minimum lot area requirement of section 172-34B1 to allow construction of a single-family dwelling on a 11,134 square foot non-conforming existing lot. And lastly, a variance as required for the patio, which will extend out 12 feet from the proposed structure. The proposed structure being that set forth as exhibit A4 on the proposed site plan submitted into evidence on behalf of the applicant.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Good luck. Yep. And I have to just circle back really quick too, because I did miss some I guess an application we have to take care of for application Z 2019-12. The Marriott at Marville, they're requesting a 1-year extension of variance originally granted June 20th of 2019.
Mr. Chairman, we had a correspondence request from the applicant's attorney dated August 25th, requesting another extension of this matter. I can read the letter. I'm marking the evidence as Township Exhibit T1, purpose of this hearing. So I represent the above referenced entity in connection with the development of Marriott Hotel at the Marville Tract in Newtown Township. On June 20th, 2019, my client was granted 2 variances by the zoning hearing board. On March 9th, 2020, my client received preliminary final land development approval from the township just prior to the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Fortunately, the pandemic has significantly impacted the project schedule, and my client is unable to obtain the necessary permits for the variances that will expire pursuant to section 172-16 of the zoning code. In the years since, continued market conditions have further affected my client's ability to proceed with the project. During this period, we requested the board graciously granted prior extensions of the variances. Pursuant to section 172-16B through D of the zoning code, I respectfully request an additional 1-year extension of the board's June 20, 2019 decision. I respectfully submitted the applicant's attorney, Ernie Spiros Angelos.
Do we know what was that variance for from 2019? Did we know?
There's 2 variances. Let's see.
If you want, we can circle back to it if we have to, just curious before we just say. Yeah. 2 years ago. Why don't we circle back to, is that all right if we just come back so we can at least find what it's related to before we just.
That's fine. We can put it on hold and circle
Yeah,
back to
all
it.
right.
I'll work with it.
All right, we're gonna move on to. We're gonna move on to applications E 2025-29. Salvatore and Catherine Matera, 3420 Tyson Road.
Skip that.
Did I skip?
Oh, I'm looking at a different one. My bad.
Oh.
Sorry.
The applicant is seeking variance relief from sections 172-33B5 and 172-141F to construct a 2nd-story addition on the existing home. The applicant also requests relief from any other sections of the zoning ordinance. It may be realized during the zoning hearing process. Subject premises located in the R2 zoning district. And is the file in order?
Always in order and catch-up.
Thank you.
Property, with notice for tonight's hearing. We also prepared notices, now that all property owners would. Property down. As well as advertising, both paper
Mr. Chairman, based on the representations of the zoning officer, I would like to move exhibits and evidence at this time. The application originally submitted by the applicant, I'd like to have it marked as Township Exhibit number T1. The list of residents within 200 feet of the subject property were notified at tonight's hearing, marked as Township Exhibit number T2. First publication from the Delaware County Daily Times advertising this meeting for 2 consecutive weeks be marked as Township Exhibit T3, and the picture post showing the posting of the property as referenced by the zoning officer be marked as Township Exhibit T4.
They are admitted. And do we have anybody here who wishes to make public comment or is a party protestant for this application? All right, no party protestants or public comment. We'll get you sworn in.
Well, I'm Tim Brody. I'm representing the Sal and Kathy Matera and their daughter Kate, who are the applicants.
All right.
I think a couple of letters from neighbors were delivered. I don't know if
Okay.
you've got
Do you
those.
mind? Sorry, I know just staying with the microphone or at least keeping it with you.
Let me just give you.
Okay.
Want these as an exhibit, Tim?
Yes, please. And I believe 3 others were delivered, Mike.
Applicant 1.
Let's call it applicant 8 because I've got 7 other exhibits.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to make an opening remark first, if you don't mind, yeah. So as I indicated, I represent the Materas, who own a property at 3420 Tyson Road. The property is in the R2 district. The Materas wish to renovate and enlarge their property. Now, the property was built in the early 50s. And the front setback line in the current code is 60 feet. Their property sits 49 feet 8 inches. As part of the construction, they will be going straight up. They will not be increasing or will not be encroaching any further into the front side yard line, nor will they be encroaching on any other side yards. But they will be adding a second floor and will be enlarging the property. In my application, I requested a variance, where later I discovered in your code, section 172.141F, which pertains to non-conforming uses, which I discovered earlier, but it reads where a structure is proposed to be expanded on a non-conforming lot and where the expansion will not encroach further on the front side or rear yard setback, then such expansion will be reviewed by the zoning hearing board as a special exception. Accordingly, I would like to amend my application to also include a special exception. I note that your notice that was sent that the applicant also requests leave from any other sections of the zoning ordinance that may be realized during the zoning hearing process. We'll present testimony tonight from John Marshall, the Matera's architect, and from Kate Barkowski, the daughter of the Materas. So with that, I'd like to call John Marshall. So John, are you a registered architect?
I am,
How long have you been an architect?
22 years.
And where are you registered?
I'm registered in the state of Pennsylvania, as well as 12 other jurisdictions from New York down to Florida.
I'd like to move as John as an expert architect. His CV, by the way, is exhibit application 1, applicant's exhibit 1. John, did you bring a picture of the current house?
Yes, I believe we sent an electronic file today that has a photograph of that.
It is by the way, it's my exhibit 2.
Yeah.
In your packet.
You can scroll one more
One more.
page and that'll be,
Yeah, there's a picture that shows the current one-story home. Right, so there's the proposed in the middle there. With regard to the Materra's plans, what do they intend to do?
so the current home is a 3-bedroom home with, kitchen, standard living room, has a finished basement. And what they're proposing to do is to enlarge it to a 5-bedroom home. Their reasoning behind that is they are blending family. Their daughter and her family are moving in. The Materas are going to reside still on the first floor, and the second floor is going to be dedicated to their daughter. And then in addition to that, they're going to have some additional living space. They're going to have a new great room, a new dining room, and then a new 2-car garage to accommodate the extra vehicle, as well as some outdoor living space.
Did you bring plans that would show the renovations?
We have plans. I believe that was part of the first exhibit that was.
Those plans, applicants exhibit 3 are in your packet. How many square feet will be added to this current property?
The square feet that's going to be added, so let me just kind of go back through. If you look, if you want to bring up the zoning data, if you want to scroll to that last page in there so that everyone can scroll up, please, down, however you want to.
The other way. The other way.
Yeah. Just so everyone in the room can see, if they can see it, it's kind of small. But this is just a zoning chart that we have for the existing. So the current existing total for the home, including the basement and the garage, is 2,800 square feet. The proposed additional square feet is going to be roughly, including the garage, the outdoor living area. So some of it's new heated space and unheated space. So it's going basically from 2,800 square feet to 4,800. We're adding about 2,000 square feet. And then there's some additional, like I said, the outdoor living area. So the total amount of square footage that is going to be on the property is roughly 6,500 square feet. And again, that's heated and unheated space. So including the garage and the outdoor living area.
Will the completed construction comply with all zoning requirements except for the front yard setback?
Yes, and in fact, it's so impervious coverage, it's under the side yard, rear yard setbacks, it's well within, and the front yard is not any further than the non-conforming conditions.
Did you bring along a picture of the proposed rendering of the house?
Yes, if
Can
you
go
want
back
to,
Go back to that first one, please. Hello?
nope.
Go back to the big picture again. Back up, there you go, one more. Is this the proposed?
Yep.
No, back up. There you go.
That right there, says proposed.
There we
Yep.
go, that's it.
So that's what the proposed is going to be. And if you want to scroll back down to the one that has all the photos, that might be easier to kind of explain a little. So the lower middle photo is their existing home. And what we're proposing is the photo that's in the middle of the document there. And then what's showing on the other photographs are other 2-story homes that are on the same street in their neighborhood. All of which appear to have already been 1-story conversions to 2-story.
Thus, John, would it be your opinion that the expanded Materra home will be suitable for this neighborhood?
Yes,
John, in your opinion, is this house physically suitable for this site?
yes.
Are there any features of the land that would adversely affect the health, safety, and welfare of this neighborhood?
No,
In your opinion, will this expanded home conserve the values of this neighborhood?
absolutely.
I have no further questions if the board has any questions.
Do the setback dimensions in the chart that was shown include the patio on the side of the house? There's a grilling patio.
Yes. The new grilling patio, yes.
So that's included in the side yard setback dimensions that are on that chart. So you're
Correct.
including the patio, you're still within the parameters of. side
That's,
yard
that's
setback.
correct.
Okay.
Andy, any questions or concerns from you on this? Any, yeah. We didn't have any, but no part of the contestants.
I'll make a motion. Thank you. On application number 2025-29, with regard to the property at 3420 Tyson Road, would be to grant a special exception for the addition that has been proposed and is consistent with exhibits 3 and 4, the applicant's exhibits. In particular, that there are no encroachments into the front, side, or rear yard setbacks beyond what currently exists, and otherwise complies with the zoning.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
I would also, by the way, move for the admission of those exhibits that are part of the package.
Admitted.
Yes.
Part of them.
Thank you.
Is it worth circling back yet to that one, or are we still not?
No, I found it.
All right. All right, so back to referencing application Z 2019-12 for the 1-year extension of the variance granted on June 20th of 2019.
Mr. Chairman, going back through the file, it appears that the order of this board from June of 2019 was granted relief from 2 provisions. Relief from section 172.75.1, a height restriction. The proposed hotel would have a height as designed of 60 feet. The zoning code requires a maximum of 45 feet. So a variance was provided for that requirement, as well as section 72-2 relating to parking space size. The proposed plans would have had parking spaces measuring 9 by 18 feet. The code requires parking spaces of 10 by 20 feet. So this board granted variance from those area requirements for parking spaces. Those are the only 2 variances that are granted.
Anyone on this?
Do we know how many extensions there's been, Michael?
20, 21, 22,
Every
23,
year.
24, and now it's maybe, so at least 5, maybe this might be the 6th.
I'm good either way. I don't care.
I hate those small parking spaces.
And I'm not gonna stay at that. I mean, had 5 years. Yeah,
Why are they?
because he did say that
They
because of
have no idea
COVID
about it.
and they didn't have anybody here, but probably just it's pretty standard. To request an extension, but I don't have a problem with it one way or the other. What do you guys think? I know. Right.
Want to say?
Can we just do it for 6 months?
Extension.
That's up to the board. Yeah, 6 months,
Give
it's
them 6
okay.
months. Keep going with it.
I suspect you'll see them back
All right.
in 6
We'll
months.
make a motion to approve the request. It's 1 year. This is our final extension, so is there a second?
Second.
We just said after 1 year, this will be our final extension. They're come back each year asking for this. That's why they're asking for another year. If they get 1 year each time they come back, we can't go beyond a year to approve it.
I believe it did. I believe it did.
June? That's
June
right. Assuming if
19th,
they keep coming
2025.
back each time a year later, what's the problem with?
It's already expired, so they can't extend it if it's beyond June.
We don't know the history of what kind of extensions they've received up to this point. They could have come in with.
Green light is
6
good.
months and then made it.
Christopher Roner. ROHNER 3731 Gradyville Road. I oppose it on the basis of the height increase over the limit of 45 feet. And also for the parking lot sizes. I mean, the 9 by 18 is too small.
Were you on their record as a party protestant originally in 2019 or?
No, I just found out about it today.
I don't think we're
So it
retrying
expired,
the-
right? It
Yeah.
expired in June.
We don't know if it expired. I think we can
You
check
don't-
if it expired.
The correspondence I have in the file seems to suggest that the last extension was granted on June 20th of 2024. And there was a letter suggesting that it expired or would expire on June 19th of 2025. Which was,
So
Just
it's
so you
already-
understand from
So
the
it's already
board's,
expired, so I think we should go for a new
for
variant.
you to understand from the board's perspective too, even for us as we approve it, that we know they're gonna come back in requesting it again, and then we're going through the whole trial again and dealing with that we're
Well, I
looking
think
at
that's
saying,
what
look,
you
if it
should-
was
that's what you
approved
should
back
do.
then. What's that?
I think that's what you should do.
This is, how do we,
I mean, it's already expired.
I understand that. We're just trying to
Yeah, I
figure out what
mean-
we want to do here.
board has the option of denying the request.
I honestly don't care one way or the other. They don't have anyone here for it, so, but I'm looking at the other side of it, knowing they're gonna come back in here when that time comes and say, well, you approved this before.
Do we
What's
have,
the issue now?
Well, that's 5 years ago.
I understand. I know that.
I guess, Michael.
Yes.
So if it has expired, is there anything to grant an extension to?
I think that's maybe the issue. I think this board could essentially entertain a request non-pro-tunc if we want to be technical, but it did technically expire on June 20th. So we're now in September,
when did we receive the letter?
August 28th. And I'm gonna give a copy, the letter I read, we'll give a copy to the court reporter.
Our
August
zoning,
25th, excuse me.
section 17216. Is pretty clear about how expiration of special exceptions and or variances are granted extensions. So I can read, I'll read you subsection C. The procedure for the grant of extensions for non-residential applications shall be that notification is provided to the township and the neighboring property owners who would have received mail notification prior to the initial hearing, provided that failure to give notice required by this section shall not invalidate the action taken by the zoning hearing.
Very clear.
And I'm trying to remember, there was something that happened due to COVID, due to COVID, although that was in 20 or 21, whatever, that they were automatically extended an extension for 5 years from that date, or something similar to that. I know there was a time that they could, because of COVID. Now, I don't know how that plays into this, that the clock started. Again, I don't know. But I remember that there was some extension for all work to be done over a certain period of time based on the COVID deal.
I have trouble.
I certainly could.
I'll deny.
Even if the code thing. There's been other extensions since then.
No one's here anyway, so if they don't want it, then fine with that.
Deny it.
I'll make a motion to deny application Z 2020 or Z 2019-112. I'm not granting the 1-year extension of the variance.
Second, oh, sorry,
Is there a second?
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
No, I don't.
What? mean,
But I'm only one vote. I'm
Yeah.
only giving my opinion.
no, it's fine. Listen. Three,
It's 3-1.
3-1. Listen, nobody's here for it.
I understand.
They don't care.
But, well, I don't necessarily care. We had done it for the last 3 years, right? And now all of a sudden, we don't have somebody here. That doesn't seem like that's a fair.
There are things that expired.
They could appeal it. There's some reason that the extension would be valid, that they had the letter in. There's nothing to extend.
We can all kick ourselves more back here. read
Okay,
their
listen,
application.
okay, I'm okay with that.
Got it done.
All right, next up is application Z 2025-30. Michael Rossi of 20 Mary Jane Lane. The applicant is seeking variance relief from sections 172-33B5, 172-33B4, and 172-141F to allow the construction of a covered deck with a non-conforming front yard. The applicant also requests relief from any other sections of the zoning ordinance that may be realized during the zoning hearing process. Subject premise is located in the R2 zoning district. Is the file in order?
Yes, file is in order. Township posted the property with placards advertising tonight's hearing. We also prepared mailing, or the notice for mailing to all property owners for the property boundary, as well as advertising in Delco Times on 2 separate occasions.
Mr. Chairman, based on the representations of the zoning officer, code officer, I'd ask the application submitted by the applicant be marked as Township Exhibit number T1. The list of residents within 200 feet of the subject property were notified of tonight's hearing be marked as Township Exhibit number T2. Proofs of publication from the advertising in the Delaware County Daily Times be marked as Township Exhibit number 3. And the picture depicting the posting of the property of tonight's meeting be marked as Township Exhibit number T4.
All right, and we get you sworn in here. And is there anyone here as a party protestant or party protestant? All right, so. Okay, that's fine, but we'll just have to get your name and address. So you received a letter in the mail. So if you could just come up, we'll get your name and address so we can at least get you on the record. No, not yet. Is your microphone on? Is it green?
Is now.
All right, sorry. Give us a minute. Just go up to the podium here, give your name and address.
The right application?
Okay, Rosemary Salvo, 21 Mary Jane Lane, Newtown Square, PA 19073. Yes, military term means
You're-
attack. It's a military term that means attack.
And you're going on the record as supporting this application, and
Yes,
we have some other people that. Oh, okay.
All right, I got a couple
Works.
things. I'll pass them back to anyone. Who gets?
Yeah. So I had something. Yeah, to back the microphone.
So what I just passed out, I had some of my neighbors, Rosie included, and some of the other people who are directly around me. I, gave them this packet, showed them what we're doing, talked them through what we would hope to do, talk through the project, and then asked them if they had any objections, and they did not. So they signed, they put their name. So I just thought that would bring that with me. I am, yes. Thank you. So our hope here is to do a front porch type thing. On my street, I went up and down on Mary Jane Lane. We have about 17 existing front porch structures that are there on the street already. We're here seeking relief for a couple different things. One would just be, we need the setback. I think we're asking for a couple feet closer on that setback. And the reason for that is some of the reasons we're trying to do this project in general are because our children wait outside before school for the bus, as well as wait home outside
for us when we get home after school. We've been in this house for, I think, coming up on 18 years. We've had to replace our front door several times. So we wanted to get a door that would, the sun damage beating in on that door just to kind of mitigate future maintenance expenses there. And then just in general, we're looking for, the ability to come in and out of our house without having any type of, when the weather's bad and things like that. So we have some room right there out front to do it. So there was that. So there was the setback relief requested. There was also the impervious ground requested, which I think, if I wasn't mistaken, we were a couple of percentage points over on impervious ground, which I'm happy to make some reconciliations elsewhere if I need to kind of get that down, or if we can get that approved.
You currently, you have nothing covering the front door, right? There's nothing built out, and
No.
this is gonna come out, what, 7 feet off?
Mhm. Off the house. Yep,
And you are,
there's nothing there now.
It's coming out 12 feet.
7.
Seven.
Seven,
Yeah.
including the steps.
Yeah, the steps would come out further than the actual structure. The structure will come out 7 feet. The steps will come out an additional couple feet.
So what are the steps come out?
Those steps, I can tell you, those steps and that. I don't know, I have it here. Those steps are an additional, I guess, 5 feet, yeah, but that would come out to currently where our existing walkway is. So those steps would kind of just fall in line with where our current walkway onto our existing house is, which isn't in this picture.
I don't, Andy, anything from you on this one?
I don't have any questions. I mean, I just answered the question. There it appears from the plan view that there are 2 additional steps being managed each. Setback dimension right away is shown 37. 28.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know if I did.
Wouldn't that, is that, say, because he's 7 feet out, he's at 45 feet now, right? We bring it to 38, so is that being taken into account or no?
Setback are 260.
Okay.
It's an existing setback. As it is today.
But that's,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's it easy. All right, I wasn't sure about, you had to explain that one to me.
Your house is 45 feet off right now, which is already saying it's non-conforming, which technically would not be allowed if you were building a house there today to be 45 feet off of the street like that. And so you're already,
Where it is.
yeah, without even building this, that you're encroaching into that, so.
So this would be a variance, a little different than prior applications, only because our code under section 172, 141 speaks to special exception approval when there is no greater expansion. In this case, there is greater expansion, so this would require variance.
Questions from the guys? Okay. What are we looking at impervious coverage? How much is he over? You know what that number is?
If I'm,
Or Andy, what's the?
I'm gonna ballpark, I think it was 32% total.
Existing 31.
Okay,
31.79%.
got it.
Requesting variance relief, we allow him to go to 32 points. So a little less than one.
All of them located. So.
What's it for, the impervious? Said there was another concession you could possibly make elsewhere on the property to.
To help
ease the
impervious? Sure, I mean, I definitely think there's
Just saying,
something we can do it.
what I'm looking at is the rest of the neighborhood. It's good as. See, they all have porches, but they're not the whole thing. But I mean, he wants the whole front.
Mhm. Here.
See, he wants the whole thing. Everybody else in the neighborhood has porches. Well, he's asking, but they only have like over the entrance, which I'm okay with. I don't care
But-
what you guys. Oh, I know.
Ross, is your intent to move these documents into evidence?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
I make a motion to approve application Z 2025-30. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Good luck with your front porch.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. His exhibits are admitted. Yes.
Thank you.
He was. Next up is application Z 2025-31, the Village of Four Seasons. Applicant requests an interpretation that Lot 4 provides the required minimum lot frontage and does not require a variance. In the alternative, the applicant requests a variance relief from section 172-29B1 to allow Lot 4 to have frontage at the street line of 50 feet. The applicant also requests variance relief from section 172-29BIA to allow lots 2 and 3 to have less than required minimum lot frontage. The applicant also requests relief from any other sections of the zoning ordinance that may be realized during the zoning hearing process. Subject premises located in the R1 zoning district. Is the file in order?
Have good property, likely advertising the place hearing, goes to compare. He noticed it was mailed to all property owners, 200 feet of property boundary. In addition, we submitted the notice, it's hearing to Delco Times. advertising.
Mr. Chairman, based on the representations of the code officer, I'd like to move for admission, the application submitted by the applicant as township number exhibit T1. The list of residents within 200 feet of the subject property were notified of tonight's hearing, marked as township exhibit number T2. First publication from the advertising in the Delaware County Daily Times in 2 consecutive weeks, marked as township exhibit number T3. And the picture of the posting notifying the public of tonight's hearing be marked as township exhibit T4.
All right. And do we have anybody who wishes to make public comment or is a party protestant for this application? All right. So party protestant, you received a letter in the mail. If you did, and you're going to be a party protestant, just in single file, come up to the podium here. We need to get your name and address on the record.
My name's Megan Kohler, and you need my address, is that what?
Yep.
3714 Gradyville Road, Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. Kohler, it's Koehler. Megan is Meghan.
I'm Chris Ambrogi. I'm in 210 Bellflower Lane in the Marple development, backing directly up to lot 3. Ambrogi, Ambrogi.
So are you in Broomall?
Marple technically,
But not, okay, not Newtown.
not Newtown. My back property
Yeah,
line is Newtown
gotcha.
Township. Yeah,
And you did get a letter.
we did get a
Okay.
letter. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm next door neighbor to Chris. My legal name is Hyuntae Kim, HYU, and as in Nancy, T as in Tom, AE. HYU, and as in Nancy, T as in Tom, AE. Last name Kim. I'm a next door neighbor to Chris. My address is 212 Bellflower Lane. My backyard will be aligned with the Newtown Township borderline. And
I'm Fred Stratman, Strathmann. My wife Francie and I live at 3840 Gradyville Road, right up the street. Fred, my wife is Francie, Francy. Thank you.
Christopher Roner at 30, and my wife Yvonne, 3731 Gradyville Road. We're right across the street from this development on Gradyville Road.
If for anybody who is a party protestant, just so you know, if you want to come kind of sit up closer here, because you will have the ability to ask questions based on the testimony that's given. Just want you to be aware of that. So you want to kind of come hang up here. I will get to you just when you have the opportunity to ask those questions, so we're not just kind of jumping in. And when you do come up to ask the questions, you'll just use this microphone here at this table. Just make sure it's lit up in green. All right, all right. Mr. Petros, I guess we'll,
Yes, sir.
do you have anybody to get sworn in, I guess, for testimony?
Yes. I do. Good evening, members of the board. My name is Donald Petrosa. I represent the applicant, which is the Village of Four Seasons Newtown LLC, which proposes to demolish the 2 existing dwellings on 3726 and 3730 Gradyville Road and to develop a little less than 22 acres, 21.78 acres in the R1 district with a residential development with 12 single-family detached dwellings and related improvements. We've been working on this project for a very long time and have a subdivision and land development application pending before the Planning Commission. We've been working with the township staff and have had several meetings with them to address comments or concerns of the township and have addressed all of the staff's requests. Most, if not many, were designed to reduce impact on environmentally sensitive land. The result of those efforts is a compliant plan, except for compliance with minimum lot frontage under section 172-29B1 with respect to a few of the 12 lots.
The current plan significantly reduces environmental impact. Township staff has advised us to seek relief from the zoning hearing board with respect to the frontage issue resulting from the changes requested by the township. The development is proceeding under the lot reduction provision of section 172-143 of the zoning ordinance, which allows certain reductions in lot area and also allows certain reductions in the requirements for frontage, side yards, and rear yards. The one being relevant here is frontage. So it allows a 15% reduction in what the frontage would normally be in the R1 district. This application relates to frontage and frontage only. Doesn't relate to any other the development issues, which will be before the Planning Commission and eventually before the Board of Supervisors. So we're just here on the limited request for relief from the frontage on 3 of the lots. Normally, the required lot frontage in the R1 district is 175 feet. Under the lot reduction option, the required frontage is 85% of that, or 148.75 feet. I do wish to point out to the board that there was a minor error in the addendum to the application, where it wasn't in the part where we asked it for the relief or in the relief we requested. That was right. But in the background section, I think I made a statement that the required frontage under the lot reduction option was 127.5 feet. That should have been 148.75 feet, which is 75%, 85% of the 170.85. And there was also on the zoning plan, there was a similar typo on the zoning plan. They did have the right 148.75 on the plan, but in one location, it said 127. That was just an error. So 9 of the 12 proposed lots have the required frontage. The lots where an interpretation or a variance is requested are lots 2, 3, and 4. Those 3 lots. Lot 4 is an interior or flag lot. It has frontage of 50.3 feet on the proposed interior road, which meets the ordinance requirements for a flag lot. Lot 4, the same lot I'm talking about, the flag lot, has about 213 feet of frontage beyond the narrow access strip where it is supposed to be measured according to the ordinance, which exceeds the required lot frontage of 148.75 feet. Interestingly, the subdivision and land development ordinance addresses flag lots in several sections and authorizes them and goes into a fair amount of detail about them. The zoning ordinance has less to say about flag lots. However, section 172-2B of the zoning ordinance provides that, and I never noticed this before, Andy, I don't know if you did either, but it provides the definitions contained in chapter 148 subdivision and land development, including figures contained at the end of this chapter 148, which is the Saldo chapter, shall also apply to provisions in this chapter, the zoning ordinance chapter. So the zoning ordinance incorporates the definitions in the subdivision and land development ordinance into the zoning ordinance. And that becomes significant because the Saldo, the subdivision and land development ordinance, and I'm going to hand up copies of this so you have it in front of you. It's a little easier to follow. But the definition of lot interior flag, figure 4, that's the term, in section 148-9 of the subdivision and land development ordinance, is a lot which does not adjoin a street, but is connected thereto by an access strip of required minimum width, minimum lot area, and other dimensional requirements shall be those of the applicable zoning district and shall be met on that portion of the lot exclusive of the minimum access strip. And figure 4, which I'm going to hand up to you, shows that the lot frontage and setbacks are to be measured at the widened portion of the lot beyond the access strip. And this definition is incorporated into the zoning ordinance by section 172-2B of the zoning ordinance. So accordingly, it's the applicant's position, we're requesting an interpretation. And I think in the past, sometimes because there wasn't anything specific in the zoning ordinance, there was no definition. The zoning officer just sent people to the zoning hearing board for variances. I think we still need variances for lots 2 and 3, but I think we comply with the flag lot. It only makes sense that I kept thinking, why would there be all these provisions about flag lots? A few in the zoning ordinance and several in the subdivision and land development ordinance, if you couldn't have a flag lot. And it's the incorporation of the definition by reference that makes the difference. So we're requesting an interpretation of lot 4 provides the required minimum lot frontage and does not require a variance. In the alternative, applicant requests a variance from section 172-29B1A to allow lot 4 to have lot frontage at the street line of 50 feet, 50.3 feet. Applicant also requests variances from section 172-29B1A to allow lots 2 and 3 to have less than the required minimum lot frontage. Lot 2 has about 99.2 feet of frontage as opposed to the required 148.75 feet. However, it has 128 feet of frontage on the emergency access easement, which connects to Cherry Blossom Lane. Originally, the applicant proposed that there be a through road extending Cherry Blossom Lane in Marple Township all the way up to Gradyville Road. It was going to be a straight through road. And when that was the case, we could have met the lot frontage for all of the lots. We could have met the required lot frontage. But the township didn't want the road to go all the way through and wanted it to be a cul-de-sac. One of the big reasons was because of environmental impact. If the road would have had a much greater environmental impact, you'll hear about the environmentally sensitive areas on the property, than with the emergency access easement that we were able to snake through the property and have much less environmental impact. Also, a lot of people had expressed concerns about it being a cut through for traffic from Marple. There are 38 lots in the Marple Village of Four Seasons subdivision. And, traffic could have been going back and forth, and now that can't happen. But because we acceded to that request of the township, it created the lot frontage problem with the lots that are the subject of this. First, we thought we could just extend Cherry Blossom Lane, and you'll see that on the plan. You can probably see it already along the frontage of lot 3. But the township didn't want to have a dead end 128-foot long street. So we had to make it part of lot 3, but the effect is essentially the same with lot 3 having significant width. It's not a narrow lot. Neil can address the lot 2 problems with regard to frontage. And I do want to point out that lots 2 and 3, which are 2 of the lots that are involved here, have their access to and from Marple Township, not through Newtown Township. So actually lots 1, 2, and 3 all have their access to and from Marple Township only. There's a total of 12 houses proposed in this subdivision. There are already 2 existing houses that are being demolished. So it would be a net gain of 10 houses total. Of the 12 houses that are actually being built, we're knocking down 2 and replacing them. Of the 12 that are being built, 3 of them have their access to Marple. So that leaves 9 having access to Gradyville Road and Newtown, or 2 of those already have access. So we're adding 7 households to the traffic of 7 households to Gradyville Road. Our engineer, as I said, advises us that he could have provided all the required frontage if the street known as Cherry Blossom Lane, which there's a stub in Marple, was extended all the way through to Gradyville Road. We minimized slope disturbance and the impact on the wetlands and the stream by not having the road go all the way through, and by some other measures that we took as well. We also reduced, as I said, the possibility of cut-through traffic. So once again, we're asking for relief only on lot frontage. Any of the other development issues that people have concerns about are really not before the zoning hearing board tonight, but will be before the planning commission. With that, I'd like to hand up exhibit lists and personnel lists, if I can put my hands on them. And then I'll call on Neil Kamens to present our testimony.
I can remember, I can't hear well.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, you've been sworn.
Yes.
All right. Please state your name and business address.
Neil Kamens, 112 Moores Road, Suite 200, Malvern, PA, 19355.
And what is your occupation or profession?
I'm a professional engineer registered in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
And by whom are you employed?
Chester Valley Engineers, Inc.
In what capacity? What's your position with Chester?
I'm the executive vice president
And how long have you been a licensed professional engineer in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania?
since 1996.
And is Exhibit A1 in the packets a copy of your resume or CV?
Yes, it is.
Is the information on Exhibit A accurate?
Yes,
Your resume indicates that you've previously been accepted as an expert in land development and or civil engineering before several zoning hearing boards, planning commissions, and governing bodies, and provided expert testimony before the governmental bodies listed on page 2 of your resume, which includes Newtown Township. Is that correct?
yes,
I'd offer the witness as an expert in land planning and land development and civil engineering.
Is admitted.
Are you familiar with the property that is the subject of this application, which is generally referred to as the Village of Four Seasons, Newtown?
yes, I am.
Please describe where the property is located.
So as you can see in the exhibit, the top of the page is Gradyville Road. The bottom of the page, that diagonal line is the township line between Marple Township and Newtown Township. A development by the same developers in Marple Township, also known as the Village of Four Seasons, already exists below that diagonal line. To the far east, the right side of the plan, you can just see Route 252 just touches the corner of the page.
Are you able to indicate on the plan where the two dwellings that are being demolished are located?
Sure. So one of the two dwellings are front on Gradyville Road. They're not shown on this plan, but if you look at the easternmost, so the right side of that vertical line, approaching Gradyville Road. There are two long, narrow lots there, so that's where the two dwellings are. One is immediately adjacent to that line, and one is just to the west of that.
Now, in what zoning district is the subject property?
It's in the R1 residential district.
And you've already indicated there's a Village of Four Seasons in Marple Township, but how many home sites are in Marple Township?
There's 38 lots.
Okay. And directing your attention to the zoning plan marked Exhibit A3, does that show the layout of lots in the proposed subdivision of the Village of Four Seasons Newtown?
Yes, it does.
And how many residential lots and dwellings are proposed?
So there are 12 dwellings that are proposed. As Mr. Petroza noted, there are two existing, so it's 10 additional dwellings. And as he discussed earlier, that lots 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, excuse me, connect to Marple Township. And then the other lots all connect to the two proposed cul-de-sacs into Newtown Township and to Gradyville Road.
And how many acres is the subject property?
It's just under 22 acres.
And where is Cherry Blossom Lane on the zoning plan?
So Cherry Blossom Lane is an existing stub street. It's at the bottom of the plan vertically. It's just below the diagonal line, which is the township line.
And does Cherry Blossom Lane in Marple extend from Marple Township to Gradyville Road under the current layout?
It does not. So what the plant road originally had been envisioned, and there have actually been numerous applications through the years that showed Cherry Blossom Lane continuing from Marple Township up through the property to Gradyville Road. During the development process of our current application, we worked with the township and we changed that from a full access street to an emergency access connection to Marple Township so that we could minimize disturbance to steep slope, the riparian buffer, and the wetlands and stream.
Now, we've requested relief from this board relating to frontage of 3 lots, which lots are they?
Those are lots 2, 3, and 4.
And you agree with what I said in my opening statement that under the lot reduction option of 172-143, the required lot frontage is 148.75 feet?
Correct. The lot reduction process in the ordinance allows a 15% reduction. And that's the number that's 85% of the normally required 175 feet.
And let's talk about lot 4 first. Please point out lot 4 and describe the lot.
So lot 4, and for clarity on the exhibit, we used red text everywhere we were asking for a variance. So you can see that they're the 3 areas of red text. Lot 4 is a flag lot in the middle of the page. It fronts up on the proposed cul-de-sac, and then there's a 50-foot access strip comes down through the middle of the page. It widens out, and then it runs down to just touch the corner of the township line.
And is lot 4 an interior lot or what is commonly referred to as a flag lot?
Yes,
Are flag lots addressed in the subdivision and land development?
they are.
And does section 148-9, the definition suggestion section of the SALDO, include a definition for an interior or flag lot and reference figure 4?
It does, which is our exhibit A4.
Okay. Would you please review exhibit A4 and tell us what the definition is and what the figure 4 shows?
Sure. So the definition reads lot, comma, interior, parentheses, flag, parentheses, and then another parentheses, figure 4, parentheses. A lot which does not adjoin a street, but is connected thereto by an access strip of required minimum width, minimum lot area, and other dimensional requirements shall be those of the applicable zoning district and shall be met on that portion of the lot exclusive of the minimum access strip.
So it's not only figure 4, but figure 4 is consistent with the definition saying that those dimensional setbacks and lot frontage should be measured at the portion of the lot beyond the access point. Is that right?
Correct. And that is clearly shown in figure 4 is a schematic diagram of a flag lot. And it shows you where to measure the lot frontage.
And also, section 148-26G4 says of the Saldo provides that the minimum dimensional requirements shall be those of the applicable zoning district and shall be measured on that portion of the lot exclusive of the access strip. Does it not?
Correct.
And let's turn to the zoning ordinance. Does the definition of lot area in section 172-2 of the zoning ordinance definitions provide that in the case of an interior flag lot, any portion connecting such interior flag lot to a road or street shall not be included in the calculation of minimum lot area?
That is correct, and it's shown in our exhibit A5.
Directing your attention to page 2 of exhibit A6. What does section 172-2B of the zoning ordinance provide?
So so A, subsection A lists the individual definitions in the zoning ordinance. Section B is one sentence, which says definitions contained in chapter 148, comma, subdivision and land development, comma, including figures contained at the end of chapter 148, comma, shall also apply to the provisions in this chapter, which is the zoning code.
So the zoning ordinance incorporates the definitions and figures in the Saldo into the zoning ordinance.
Yes,
Is the zoning relief that the applicant requested what is set forth in page 1 of our addendum? With respect to lot 4, we requested an interpretation in lot 4 provides the minimum lot frontage and does not require a variance, or in the alternative, a variance from section 172-29B1 to allow lot 4 to have lot frontage at the street line of 50 feet. Is that correct?
yes.
What frontage does lot 4 have measured beyond the access strip?
213 feet, which is more than the 175 base distance and much more than the lot reduction 148.75.
Let's turn to lot 3, where we requested a variance from the same section, 172-29B1, to allow a lot frontage of 104 feet instead of the required 148.75 feet. I think you indicated earlier, did you originally intend to provide lot 3 with the required minimum frontage on a street?
Yes.
And why weren't you able to do that?
So originally, we were extending Cherry Blossom Lane as a public street, which so the lot 3 would have frontage on that street as it extended into Newtown Township. Lot 3, as it's drawn on that plan, also has about 51.5 feet of frontage on the lower right corner where it adjoins Bellflower Lane in Marple Township. It's kind of unusual because the Bellflower Lane, the right of way, is coincident with the township line. So that it was always envisioned when that was done in Marple that this would be a contiguous community. And so the land in that point of the property out towards 252, the idea was that those lots would front on Bellflower Lane directly, just as the lots in Marple do, so that when both developments were completed, they really would act together.
Although lot 3 does not have the required minimum frontage on a street, does it have frontage on the emergency access easement?
It does.
How much?
About 128 feet.
What do you, in addition to being a civil engineer and an expert in land development, you serve on your municipality's planning commission as the chair of the planning commission?
Yes, I do.
And you've also taught some PBI courses on various things, including stormwater management?
That is correct.
What do you believe is the purpose for a minimum lot frontage requirement?
The lot frontage is used in the Newtown ordinance seems to be a substitute, which a lot of times is lot width. It's not uncommon in some other townships for there to be a minimum frontage of, say, 50 feet, and then a specific lot width in each district. In Newtown, instead of those two requirements, there's simply the frontage requirement, which is giving you the width of the lot along the street.
In fact, the Newtown ordinance doesn't even have minimum width requirements, does it?
No.
It's all frontage.
Correct.
And I've seen people use those interchangeably in requesting variances and so forth. Do you believe that the purpose of the minimum frontage requirement is satisfied with respect to lot 3?
It is. We have a lot that essentially fronts on the emergency access. So as you look at the plan, the house is gonna sit on that long lot against the township line. The house will face the emergency access. The idea is that the driveway to that lot, after you get to that driveway, that's where the emergency access would be blocked off. But up to that point, it would basically be an extension of Cherry Blossom Lane. When the township suggested that we not build Cherry Blossom Lane as a through road, we discussed building Cherry Blossom Lane as a stub street out to the extent of Lot 3 and to give it the required frontage. The township thought it was awkward to build a less than 200 feet of a stub street across the township line. That it would create maintenance issues. It would be just unusual as far as everything else, where that street was actually not connected to any other street in Newtown Township.
Plus, I think under the township ordinance, you'd probably have to build a cul-de-sac at some point there, and you'd be into the environmentally sensitive.
We would, or we would have to seek whatever we have to do for that. One of the primary reason that the township asked us, I shouldn't say primary, there are multiple reasons the township requested that Cherry Blossom Lane not go through. But one of the consequences is that there's a lot more flexibility with an emergency access lane. So that the emergency access lane has far less impacts on the existing steep slope on the property, on the existing wetlands, on the existing riparian buffer and the stream.
What do you mean by that? Can you explain it a little bit? Does it have to do with the geometry?
It has to do with two functions. One is the street would have had a wider right of way. And by building the wider street, a wider cartway and a wider right of way and doing more grading, we would have disturbed more land, or the project would disturb more land to do that. The other thing is a geometry of a public street is more restrictive. We worked with the township fire marshal to pick geometry that is safe for emergency access, but allows us to bend the emergency access and to avoid the steep slopes on the property.
Could you have bent the road to the same extent?
We could not. So one of the things that we've alluded to, but maybe not directly addressed, and it's better shown on our last exhibit, which is A7. Actually, if you could bring that up, it's the same plan, but it shows the steep slopes in shading. And so that is one of the constraints of developing the property. So we have been working with the township with the rules to follow the restrictions on developing in the steep slope. And that is really the condition on these lots that we're going to talk about on 3 and then on 2, that is making the change in frontage make sense. That were not for the steep slopes and the stream, we could easily have a simple rectangular lot with the required amount of frontage. But since we have steep slopes there, if we were to move the property line and extend the roadway, we're not gaining anything. The lot is still not going to get any, we're not going to make the lot effectively larger because we're just going to be putting steep slopes in the lot, which is not going to do anything to allow for construction of a house in a different location.
How big is lot 3?
Lot 3 is about 64,000 feet.
Okay, and the lots in Marple were smaller, their minimum lot size is 40,000 square feet?
That is correct.
So these lots are average 60,000 square feet?
Correct.
Okay. Now, with respect to lot 2, how much frontage does that actually have?
So lot 2, and for reference, that's lot 1 is the triangular lot on the right side of the plan. Lot 2 is the next lot adjoining that. Lot 2 has about 99.2 feet of frontage.
And can you just, as you did with lot 3, talk about some of the constraints on lot 2?
So lot 2 has that amount of frontage, but as you see on the left side of lot 2, there's a lot of shading, which is those steep slopes. So as with lot 3, we have picked a location for the lot lines and for the proposed house that avoids and minimizes steep slope disturbance and meets the township requirements for that. That's why we're not here with the zoning hearing board asking for any relief from slope disturbance. But by doing that, we have limited its frontage to 99 feet so that we could give some of that remaining frontage on Bellflower Lane, about another 51 feet to lot 3. So if you combine both those things, it's a little Rube Goldberg maybe, but if we had built a through street, we would have provided all the frontage on lot 3 on the through street, and we then would have more than the required 148.75 feet directly on the street in Marple Township for lot 2. But because we're not doing that, we've tried to parcel the frontage out to minimize how much relief we need. It's these 2 lots, and that each one has about the same, nearly 100 feet of frontage.
With respect to exhibit A7, it shows both steep and very steep slope. There's 2 different shades.
Yes.
Can you explain which is which?
So the lighter slope, the lighter shade is the steep slope, the 15% to 25%. And then the darker shade is very steep slope, which is 25% and greater.
Are you familiar with the standards for variances that are set forth in section 910.2 of the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code and section 172-215 of the Township Zoning Ordinance, which happen to be exactly the same?
Yes.
In your opinion, are those standards met where relevant with respect to the lot frontage relief we have requested for lots 2, 3, and 4?
Yes, I think the driving force for requesting the variances on lots 2 and 3 is the physical conditions of the property. It's the location of the slope, the steep and very steep slope. It's the location of the stream in respect to the township line and to the dead end street of Cherry Blossom Lane.
Now, what other, are there any other physical circumstances or characteristics of the property which create a hardship and support the request for the variances other than ones you've talked about? Are there wetlands on the property or
There are wetlands. As I mentioned, that the emergency access crosses a narrow strip of wetlands and a stream.
And is there also what's called riparian buffer, a certain distance that you have to have away from?
Yes, there's a
those-
riparian.
Riparian, RIP.
There is a riparian buffer along the wetlands in the stream corridor.
Right. And do all of those factors combine to make it difficult? First of all, if you had put the road through, you would have impacted all of those much greater than we are currently impacting them. Is that true?
That is correct.
And are all of those features that you've described natural features? Or
Yes.
naturally occurring features?
They are.
Okay. And in your opinion, would the authorization of the relief requested enable reasonable use of the property?
Yes.
In your opinion, would the variances, if authorized, or other relief that we've asked for, alter the essential character of the neighborhood or district in which the property is located, or substantially or permanently impair the appropriate use or development of adjacent property, or be detrimental to the public welfare?
No, the lots 2 and 3, which connect to Marple, the intent is to build houses similar to all those that have already been built in the village of Four Seasons in Marple Township. Same thing applies to lot 4, but that is going to connect to new proposed roads where there'll be other houses that are similar in nature.
In your opinion, is this the minimum relief necessary to enable reasonable use of the property?
Yes.
The, are we asking for any other zoning relief other than this minimum lot frontage that's caused by the elimination of the through road?
No, all the other lots comply with the zoning requirements, and the other characteristics of the lots we're discussing meet the zoning requirements as well.
And you're aware of the extensive interaction the applicant and its representatives have had with the township staff and the many plan revisions that have been made to address the township's comments and concerns?
Yes.
And what was the impact of those revisions made at the township's request? Can you summarize what that impact was?
The key impact was what we discussed earlier, not connecting the roads as they go through. There also has been in general a reduction in the amount of disturbance to slopes and to wetlands. and the creation of 2 open space parcels, which are not required by code, but were created in working with the township is something that the developer and the township thought would be of value.
Okay, and there were other things they asked us to do, like getting the access to Gradyville away from the wetlands and so forth where it originally was.
Correct.
And you also worked to move the houses around a little bit to try to absolutely minimize the slope disturbance.
Yes.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
I don't know if we actually talked about the deeds, Exhibit A2.
Right.
Um,
Those are the deeds for the properties.
They are.
They? Okay. And did we touch on all the other exhibits? I think we did.
I think we did, yes.
Okay. I think those are all the questions we have for this witness.
I am curious. I'm surprised to see so many people here just for the lot frontage. If somebody wants to step up to the microphone, I'd be curious to come on up. Just make sure you turn that on. Just turn it towards you because it's, there you go. Thank you.
So I live at 210 Bellflower, so it's Chris Ambrogi. So my back property line is the border between Newtown and Marple. And if you look, it's where the driveway for lot 3 runs across the entire back of my back property line. If it's for frontage, does that also apply to side yard variances that are being asked as well? Or is it just lot frontage? Because the note we got said any other zoning discrepancies found during this meeting would also be discussed.
Yeah, so if something does pop up that we realize while we're here, at least then they don't have to file a whole new application for that if something's discovered during this. But I'll be honest, where that's coming out, I'm a little confused about myself right
Yeah.
there. So that 50 feet of frontage for lot 3, is that cut through the emergency access? Is that an
the
easement?
50 feet is the Cherry Blossom Lane.
Yeah,
In Marple is to be a dedicated street.
but is that,
That's frontage on like the dead end of Cherry Blossom Lane.
but it's being counted as,
It's frontage.
feet of
because
frontage for lot 3.
It goes all the way to the heavy line on the far side of Cherry Blossom Lane.
okay.
Where that emergency access is, that's actually on lot 3, part of that emergency access.
And the driveway for lot 3 is going to be coming out onto Cherry Blossom?
It's gonna come out to a portion of the emergency access just beyond Cherry Blossom Lane. If it were to come out on Cherry Blossom Lane, it would actually be on his property, which it is not. So there will be a driveway emergency access extension to put that driveway to lot 3 past the property line.
So when, and knowing that all those houses are newer, yours included.
Yeah.
Were these plans not shown to you when you purchased?
They had said they were gonna build behind us. They didn't show us these plans. I wouldn't ever have thought that they were gonna put a house where they are on lot 3.
How long
I-
have these plans existed for? Is this the first time they're being presented anywhere or?
The plan for that house was first presented to the township in 2024. There were plans about 10 years ago that showed the extension of Cherry Blossom Lane and labeled these areas as future development. The recorded plan for the project in Marple shows about 150 or 200-foot extension of Cherry Blossom Lane, but it does not identify specific proposed lots in the Newtown portion. It just shows dashed lines and labels the street going that way.
I looked at the public offering statement for the homes in Marple Township, and they do show the road being extended up into Newtown, and it says Village of Four Seasons, Newtown. So it's pretty clear from the public offering statement that there was gonna be development.
Yeah, I
out
mean,
there,
I
And that the
see the-
road was gonna be a public road instead, now it's one house coming out there. It would
No,
have
and
been.
I see the road part of it, but I guess I also see your concern because you're looking at the driveway that's coming
Yeah,
across.
my kid's swing set's right there. It's gonna be 5 feet away. It empties onto an emergency access route, so you have daily ingress and egress of the residents that are living there. And you can't move the house any
yeah.
further because there's a stream there. So,
So even for your concerns with that, I'm just, again, just because I'd rather have this conversation, what in your mind could be done to compromise for a situation like this, right? If you're here and you're opposed to seeing that driveway, does a
fence going there or arborvitae's going there or something that, you knew the road was going through there, right? That's one part of it, but looking at the driveway, is
Yeah.
there, I'm just asking if there's a way to find some version
I'd
of
be open to things. Could that lot be recreational use instead of a house?
I know, but I get that. We always have people that come in here all the time, right? Every time there's a lot, they go turn it into a park and that just becomes a whole other different expense. And I'm not just saying, I get that request, but I guess looking at this, if the house is going there, knowing that this was part of the plan, what could be done if it's a house that's going there?
I mean, you can't really move the house at all because it's so squeezed in there. There's no other, I mean, I think it still violates the buffers the way it is, but
The riparian buffers? that-
yeah, and the side yard setback requirement from my house. I
So,
don't know if that's true or not, but I think it's supposed to be 40 feet from my back property line and 50 feet from the stream, and neither of those are listed on the plan.
So the house shown on the plan matches the riparian buffer that this plan is under, which is the 50-foot buffer. The side yard is one of those things that's allowed a 15% reduction when the lot reduction statute of the ordinance. So that can be 15% reduced from 40 feet, and we're showing it down at 34 feet. We're not showing the house right against that, but that's what the code would allow.
well, and I know, I guess beyond this, it still has to go to what planning, I guess, beyond this. So just looking at this now for frontage approvals that they're trying to get to, and then the next step, and I don't know if that means that people that are opposed to this need to show up at the planning meeting, but for now, from the frontage part of it that they're trying to get through, I get the concern saying the house, but that's just saying that that's not what we're here for right now.
Yeah,
that we're
sure.
looking at this from the frontage.
I thought it was kind of for all zoning on
I got
all
it, yeah.
sides of the house.
No, I'd probably be here the same way. I understand that.
Yeah.
Is lot 3 the main protested lot?
Absolutely, yeah. I have no other issues with any.
Is that for everybody?
It's for me and Philip, who's my neighbor.
Yep,
He's,
I see. His name's listed on this.
yeah, I mean, this lot directly impacts us negatively, significantly. And we both paid extra for these lots when we moved in, because it had woods, and we thought there would be a little bit of a buffer maintained.
How long
Yes.
ago did you?
We moved in like 2 Junes ago.
Okay.
I guess it's on us for not.
I
Going
wasn't
on
asking to
township,
throw that in,
yeah.
to throw that back. I'm just curious.
Just, we would have never chosen these lots if we had known that that house was there. I mean, that borders me in on 3 sides, roads on 3 sides of my house.
Okay. All right. Any, yeah, from the other party protestants and knowing that you have the ability to question any testimony that was given here, does anyone have any questions regarding the testimony that was given?
The emergency access route, it starts on the township line.
Yes,
So,
it's gonna be so Cherry Blossom Lane will be built as a stub street as part of your. A stub street, Cherry Blossom Lane will be built as a stub street as part of your development. And that's gonna continue as an emergency access. So there will be a extension of that past the proposed driveway to lot 3. Then there will be a gate across there that the emergency services have access to.
okay,
That the general public does not as far as driving. And then that will continue along to the proposed cul-de-sac. And then eventually that road will connect up to Gradyville.
got it.
There'll be no through traffic. The only traffic traveling on that road will be people going to those single lot behind.
That homeowner, yeah. And the other 2 lots empty into the cul-de-sac of.
They correct, they
Of
connect
Bellflower.
directly to Bellflower.
So
the
lot
existing street.
3 is the only one that perpendicularly empties onto the emergency access route.
Correct.
And if you were to, there's no way to extend lot frontage with the way this lot is, right? Because it doesn't, the stream prevents that. There's only that one little
Well,
outpouching.
lot frontage is technically defined along the street line. So by not having a street there, there's no extension. The only thing we have available to us is the streets in Marple Township, because if we do not extend the street into Newtown, then there's no street line, which is what the frontage is measured.
Okay. Or just getting rid of the house altogether. That's, and then not disturbing the wetlands there at all. And not emptying onto the
The
emergency. access
wetland
road.
disturbance is related to the emergency access connection,
Not
not
the
related to
house.
the house.
Okay,
Whether there's a house there or not, there would still be the emergency access connection to the streets in Newtown, and that would have the same amount of slope disturbance and the same amount of wetland disturbance, the same amount of crossing of the riparian buffer.
okay. Thank you. That's all I got.
What type of road is the emergency access
It's
going
a
to be?
paved road with curbs. So it's typically 20 feet wide. Working with the fire marshal, we've widened the curves out to 24 feet. A fire truck can actually easily navigate it at 20 feet, but the 24 feet in the curves will make that easier. And we work with the fire marshal to come up with what make the most sense there.
A fully paved road, like,
It's a paved roadway, but it'll have gates on both ends, which I would envision would have something similar to like a Knox lock on it, so that emergency services would have a key, but no one else would have a key.
there'll be a gate on the property line,
There would
And
be a gate not on the property line.
I mean, on the,
entry three,
the
on the other
township
side of the
line?
driveway. On the north side of the driveway, there'd be a gate.
So lot 3 wouldn't be able to use it as a daily
Correct.
access
Lot
road.
3 will
just-
have no choice
okay.
but to come out, turn left out of their driveway and go down Stub Street of Cherry Blossom Lane into Marple Township.
Why? Did I miss that? Why is that the case?
Why?
Yeah,
Because there'll be a gate that only emergency vehicles can use north of their driveway.
only access will be through Cherry Blossom Lane South
Correct. For those,
for
for
lot
lots
3.
1, 2, and 3, their only access is into Marple Township. They do not have vehicular access.
Right.
Directly into Newtown Township.
Any other party protestants have questions or comments on this that they? Or is it more just about the actual houses themselves? I just, because I don't want to. If it's about the actual houses themselves, I just hope everybody understands it. For that, you would have to go to the planning. If you do have actual concerns about the frontage and what we're here to discuss. Obviously, we're completely open to that. I also don't want to shut anyone down. So if you want to ask your question and it's not applicable to this, we'll tell you. I feel like you want to say something? Come on up, just so we can get you. Yeah, have a seat, turn the microphone on.
Yeah, it's Fred Strathman and 3840 Gradyville Road. We've been watching this for a long time. My wife's family has lived in Newtown Square for 100 years. The house we live in, George Washington was a teenager when it was built. So, and we live next to the property below this that also belongs to the Four Seasons Development. So obviously it's of great concern to us. My question to you is whether any environmental concern is considered here in deciding whether to grant a variance or not. I mean, I understand the sensitivity and the work that they've done, but this is a question for granting whether it influences your decision or whether it's germane. That's the question.
I mean, I guess for me, I would say that it's germane because we're looking at it saying, are we okay with these? Allowing this frontage for them, looking at lot 4 and giving a flag lot approval. So just, and again, because these things can get away from us every time an application comes in, believe me, 20 other things come up that we do try to keep it, I guess, to what we are here for. And I know this is obviously a long road ahead for everybody getting there, but for us right now, it's just that they're here for this lots 2, 3, and 4 for the frontage. So I guess, I guess that's not something that applies or that we think about, but I guess that would also, again, assume is going to be on the planning commission to deal with, not our board.
I guess my one comment would be that by granting the variances, essentially you're giving a nod to this lot arrangement, which, you know, on a piece of property that's in one of the most environmentally sensitive areas of the entire township, that is, you have wildlife, you have protected species, you have black vultures, you have eagles, you have a couple kinds of turtles, you know, plus all the deer that keep getting pushed out by their development in Marple onto my property, I might add. So by granting these variances, I mean, I understand that you've gone to great lengths, you know, to try and honor the steep slopes and the wetlands and the riparian buffers. But I also look at this plan, and what I see is almost a desperate attempt to create one more lot in a place where, in my uninformed opinion, doesn't belong there. It seems like what you're trying to do is shoehorn all of this stuff into a very small space. And you know, the reason I no doubt believe that you created this one free space was because that's part of the very environmentally sensitive area. It's right next to the steep slopes. There's water running down there, down the hill. And here we are, you know, this goofball lot 4, the flag lot, this odd lot 3 with the really weird access. Lot 2 gets shoehorned in and loses all its frontage because we're trying to create a lot 4 and a lot, you know, and we're screwing around with these lots, obviously to maximize how many houses we can build on this environmentally sensitive property. Now, we all have every right to the land that we own and what we want to do with it. You know, I can't, you know, obviously none of us are here to dispute that. But I also think that by essentially granting the variance and saying, yeah, we're okay with this wackadoodle, pardon my characterization, but this, you know, strange lot arrangement to try and get another house in there, you know, and I'm not objecting to capitalism, you know, I'm just saying, you know, we all understand how land development works, though. On top of that, I will just add that the history of Four Seasons development is clear cutting an enormous amount of forest. This land was logged by them 20 years ago, which everyone forgets. They came in and cut out all the valuable heritage trees on, you know, 100 acres of land down there. So guess what? There aren't so many heritage trees now, but they're still talking about getting rid of 2/3 of the heritage trees, getting rid of 75 or 80% of all the rest of the coverage on this land. And so to finagle and grant a variance.
These are land development issues.
And I get that, I do, and I feel like based on where you're at, and that you're not in one of the new houses, I respect his input and want to give you that leeway, but I get it, I'm not.
Well, I asked the question at the beginning, you know, is this germane? You know, I don't want
Yeah.
to waste your time.
No, you're-
Waste, you know.
Fair concerns, it's not wasted on us, a lot of this, I really do think is going to have to fall on them, and I understand that you're saying if we give this approval, that we're saying, hey, let's move it ahead to the next phase. You know, and I also think it's tough for people that are here that are living in one of the houses on the Marple side, that things had to be cleared there as well, so you can't really show up here and complain as it starts to happen on the Newtown side. And this isn't directed at you, but, you know, we have you two gentlemen there that bought houses that was covered in trees before, so you can't look at this and act frustrated by that part of it, you know? But again, we get it, we see it, it's just, we're taking it all in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Turn this off.
I'm assuming at land development, the lots could be redesigned and potentially back before us. Like, how are we the first step in this process to determine frontage before?
Well, choice in order to move forward.
Typically, when a land development plan is submitted, it can't be approved if it needs zoning. We have to come in.
We have our in-house attorney filling us in. So,
That's essentially established.
I mean, to that point, to sort of addresses what was raised earlier, approval by this board of the variances doesn't equate to an approval of the plan, right? So if the board approved the requested relief, if in the process, the applicant goes back to planning commission or the board of supervisors, if the plan is redesigned from an engineering standpoint because of either the planning board, planning commission, or the board of supervisors, that would then require some different or alternate relief by this board, it would come here again. This is simply the request for the plan as currently proposed and designed.
Zoning approval is not a prerequisite to going to land development. It's your choice to come here
It is
first.
a prerequisite to getting a land development approval. We've already been to the planning commission. We're going back to the planning commission. We've revised the plans many, many times. We've gotten a plan that at least staff seems comfortable with.
we're. Oh. You have comments? Sorry, see you sneak up there.
Yeah, Christopher Roner.
I'm sorry, you are party protestant?
Yes, I am.
What was your address? Because you protested,
3731 Gradyville Road.
and you were
across the
protesting
street
on
from this
the,
development.
you were protesting on the last application
Yes,
at Marville,
no. You mean for the one for Western,
the Marriott?
yeah.
I
they
guess
not
I'm just
near
trying to
each other?
figure out where you're at.
Pardon me?
Are they near each other? The Marville Marriott
They're all in
application
Newtown
is,
Square.
no, to be a party protestant, you have to be, receive the letter and be within proximity of what we're talking about here. So you can't be a party protestant to this and that, given the proximity.
Well, I live across the street from this development.
Did you get a
Okay, so you're
letter?
not in the last,
Did you receive a letter in the mail letting
Yes.
you know that this was taking place?
for this one,
Yes,
not the previous one that you stood up
that's
for.
correct.
Okay. We have to remove them as a party protestant from the last one.
Yeah,
Same
I
difference,
know.
but
I get it. So I agree with everything that Fred said, earlier. I think he made a lot of good points. I think we're trying to squeeze too much into this whole development. And we're not taking into consideration enough for the environment, and what this whole area is. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever walked through the entire property?
I have walked portions of it. I wouldn't say I've walked the entire property.
I mean, it's full of wildlife, it's full of wetlands, it's full of,
We're going down the road we just
Steep
talked
slopes.
about again, though, where we're here for the lot frontage. And not
Well,
about the
okay.
wetland.
I mean, it's the whole development.
I know, but that's why I said that when we started to open this up, that's not why we're here. If you have those
Okay.
concerns, take it to planning then at the next meeting.
That's fine. But I don't see the hardship here. I mean, they're creating their own hardship.
Okay.
With the way they're shaping the lots. So I'm opposed to it. All right?
Got it. Say your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Amber Lee. I live at the 212 Bellflower Lee, Amber Lee, Lee. Just have a quick question. So I'm a first homeowner, so I have a lot of questions. So is this plan subject to revision or is it finalized? I heard that there were a lot of like different versions of this map. I moved in just last year, May of 2024, and this is the first time I'm seeing this map. And is this finalized or is it still subject to revision? So if you grant this petition, does that mean that they're moving forward with this plan or?
Well, this would just be one step, I guess, that they need before they go to planning, but
Because I think that because this plan is going to affect us so directly, so negatively, I think a little bit of a heads up would be nice. Or a little bit of effort to gather, the input from neighbors or inform the new home buyers nearby. It would have been really nice.
It's the same developer, right? Developing, so you purchase from a developer that's developing both the existing and this new,
That's correct.
correct? Okay.
and they didn't tell you when you purchased that they were gonna be developing beyond where you were. I mean, because you could see even the street just kind of ends
Apparently not.
abruptly.
I mean, I was aware that there was something in planning, but I wasn't aware of like this map or I wasn't informed like on any details.
Okay.
So this is the first time I'm actually seeing this map and seeing that there's gonna be build a house like right next to us. And they're gonna build it like the road in our backyard. That's gonna affect us so negatively and I'm just asking that if it's still changed or
That's not something that we know the answer to. Again, we're only here for the lot frontage.
yes.
That's what's before
Then,
us right now,
yeah.
so. I don't think that they're gonna be able to answer and say there's not gonna be any changes. They still have to go to planning, but I think what they're trying to do are lay out these lots. So that they can go to the next phase of this. And again, we're just here for the lot frontage right now for 3 different properties.
Okay, thank you.
charge them more for the lot.
Is there any additional testimony or? Oh my God, you guys keep sneaking up there.
Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna keep it short. I know everyone is tired and wants to go home, but, Megan Kohler, 3714 Gradyville Road. So I'm about 3 lots up from where this emergency road, access road would go. Again, I know we're sticking to just the point of this, but I protest because they're gonna continue to present small pieces of their plan to get their way. And I think you need to look full circle, full picture at this. And this emergency road is not going to be an emergency road when they continue to build off of the roundabout all the way to the left. And they're gonna build all the way up and they already know it. And so they're presenting small pieces to you at a time. And same thing, you're gonna say yes and approve this and continue to improve. You need to think about the project in its whole, in the entirety of what it's doing environmentally. And again, with neighbors and all the other inconveniences that this causes.
We get that, we do, and I.
And I'll leave
again,
it at
just
that.
so
I
we
know,
what
I
we're here for.
understand, but I'm just saying, I'm asking you to think
I
big
appreciate it.
picture here.
Anyone else? For any additional testimony from your side?
I don't think so. Everything you want to add?
No. Andy, any questions? If we're gonna probably either go into executive session or make a decision at next month's meeting. I don't know, whatever what do you guys want to do?
I'm
Next.
assuming you're moving your exhibits into evidence. I'm assuming you're moving your exhibits into evidence.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You guys want to do? So we'll close the record. All right, we're gonna close the record and we will make a decision at
16.
October 16th meeting. So those decisions will be made. We'll do that at the beginning of the meeting, so there'll be no additional testimony or public comment, just we'll make our decision at that time. All right. All right, appreciate everyone's input. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.